The road to success is bumpy for the majority of people, but staying persistent and not looking back from the perspective of being hesitant to take further actions, but from the perspective of learning from the mistakes that you did, is a key to achieving success in anything, but especially in the financial markets. So today I'll share my road and my story, how I went from 0 to above 100k and went back to 0 unfortunately, and what I'm doing differently today in order to get to that 100k or even further and to not go back to 0 again. Hello everyone, my name is Željko and welcome to CryptoGrid. I heard for crypto first time in 2016 from a friend that mined Ethereum, and pretty much despite the fact that I didn't know anything about it, I did some calculations how much time do you need to mine one Ethereum, what's the potential price in the future could be, and I came up with a conclusion that in the worst case scenario, the rig will pay off within a year, and within few days I bought everything and assembled a mining rig at my home. At the start, I hadn't researched blockchain industry a lot since I was looking to grow my gym at that time. I failed at it to be honest, unfortunately. Then I started freelancing on Upwork, then bear market came up, so I wasn't highly interested in crypto initially, besides mining obviously. Then I started earning solid amount of money from freelancing, and one client asked me to do some research on different crypto hardware wallets, and that's when I got first job in the blockchain space, and I realized that there is more and more blockchain related jobs on Upwork as well. So that's the moment when my interest spiked, and the more I researched industry, the more I liked it, and I realized how this is a way to achieve the ultimate financial freedom in the future. I still sold my mined Ethereum way too early, then I started buying it back again and investing way more aggressively. To be honest, at the time I didn't know much about how markets works, technical analysis, on-chain analysis. Everything that I did was mainly based by following a logic this hasn't pumped yet or something similar, and that methodology even works in a bull market because it's easy to buy assets lower and sell them higher. At one moment, I even managed to double my portfolio within 2 weeks or something like that, switching in between few assets like DOT, Matic, NEAR, Gala, and AVAX I think at the time, and taking USDT at the end. But it was more luck based than skill based to be honest. I was lucky to buy all of them before they pumped, and at one moment my portfolio went to something like 110k or even slightly higher. At one moment I thought I'm pro, I know what I'm doing, then bear market hit and I made mistakes in investing into some bad small alts. I was also too much exposed to crypto, but the biggest lose came from leveraging Ethereum to take a USDT loan, with which I would buy even more Ethereum. I was also adding more capital along the way, so pretty much I was DCing to the downside, thinking how there is no chance of me getting liquidated or Ethereum going further down. But at one moment I realized like, okay, I will either exit these loans and take the lose, or I might get liquidated and lose everything. Even besides financial part, this was super stressful to me. I had notifications for all price changes during nights. So pretty much I decided to accept the lose and move on. After some time, I started slowly recovering by creating some algo grid trading strategy that was giving me like 3 to 8% per month. But the biggest risk was that I had to keep the money on some centralized exchange since I was taking advantages of the volatile moves in the markets at the time. One morning, I woke up and I saw my Binance account fully drained, where hacker moved my funds to his account without even using 2FA to execute transactions from my account even single time. You can watch the full video about that here. That happened almost 1 year ago on 17 October last year, so that's the moment when I started building almost from zero again. After that, it was very difficult for me to see things clearly and to look on a long-term perspective and to not try to trade with high leverage in a temptation to return the money that I lost. But now I built a strategy for a long run, and even though the gains are smaller, It's definitely something that is way more sustainable and it will pay off in a longer run. And I can sleep normally without the need to worry about being hacked or anything similar. So what are the lessons that I learned from here? First one is definitely self-custody. I'm mentioning this really often, but once you experience lose as I did, you make sure to not use custodial exchange for the majority of your funds. On this way, you're not relying on any exchange or a third party which might fail you. Find a good paying job. If you expect to earn more than 50% per year in average on your investment, that will be unrealistic and you are way more likely to lose everything since you're gambling than to actually make 100k or any significant consistent gains in the future. Now, besides working on developing YouTube channel and developing an algorithm for portfolio rebalancing that would allow you to position well whatever happens in the markets, I earn a small passive income from owning a gym in my city, and I still work part-time for one client that I met on Upwork and that I like to work with. All this allows me to put certain amount of money in crypto every month, so it becomes much easier to grow the portfolio in a longer run. The next one is risk management. When we were in a bull market, I thought that I'm good at trading, that I'm good at identifying the next alts that would go up, so I pretty much turned off risk management completely. And even though this allowed me to make huge gains in a short amount of time, it led to large losses afterwards as well. As I said a few times, you can get from $100 to 1k, even 10k, maybe even 100k, but then at one point you will return to zero. So as soon as you start managing your funds properly, the better you will be. Be early. Be early when it comes to start investing. If it's $100 max that you can invest, start with that, but have respect to these $100 as if it's $100,000. This will help you to stay motivated to follow the markets. The more time that you spend in markets, the better you will become when it comes to knowledge, consistency, good habits, well, pretty much everything. Being early allows you to do many mistakes, and if you remain consistent, eventually you will be profitable. Also, be early when it comes to investing in projects. Of course, you want to see some momentum and some interest, but the earlier that you invest, the potential upside is usually larger as well. Try everything, but always start small. Many of these things will fail, but if you repeat this, eventually you will find something that is interesting to you and that will get you profits. Still, make sure that you understand it fully, because if you're not understanding it completely and you over-leverage yourself and not exit in time, it can cost you a lot. So, unless you understand something fully, don't be aggressive with investments. Majority of the things will fail, but eventually you will nail down something and it will be more valuable than all of the previous fails that you experienced. This is how you win. This leads me to the next point. Stick to what you know. If you're familiar with gaming, focus on that. If you never played any games, it will be very difficult for you to understand the issues of in-game economy, to understand what's interesting and what's not interesting to the majority of people. Even if you're in gaming, for example, I played some MOBA games like Dota and League of Legends at highly competitive levels, but I was never good at FPS games, for example. So, you should always be aware of what you get and what you don't get. You don't want to invest a large percentage of your portfolio into something that you're not familiar with. If you're still at a stage that you're not expert at anything, explore different things until something becomes interesting. Also, some areas will require much higher knowledge in different areas, like DeFi for example, while some others are more about the hypes around certain things like meme coins for example. Also, me personally, I never invested in stocks, gold, commodities. I pretty much started with crypto, and I stick to that currently, even though I'm considering investing in stocks as well. The more that you're aware of different asset classes, different sub-niches, and how they perform against each other, it will give you better opportunities and it will be easier to hedge yourself from potential losses as well. Stay focused. Currently, I'm selling my gym to be able to focus as much as possible on crypto, an optimizing algorithm on which I'm working on, and even though it doesn't take a lot of my time, it's a distraction for me from achieving the things that I want. So this is definitely something to think of. You need to know what you want and what are your priorities. Of course, I will keep training and hopefully break 800 kilos total in powerlifting in the future. And going to the gym, eating healthy and staying healthy is a big factor as well. If you ruin your health, you won't be able to do anything, and unfortunately, many people realize that too late. I hope that you gonna apply at least some of these tips into your trading and investing strategies, because learning from someone else's mistakes is a much easier and faster path to success than doing them themselves and then not repeating them. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. I reply to all the comments. Also consider joining my Telegram group where I share insights and how I position myself in the markets today. I hope that you like the video. Stay strong and healthy. Bye.